Next, we have one special presenter. And she now grabs the title youngest presenter who is going to do presentation in Future Scientist Meet. Earlier, this was with Meera. So I think most of you know Meera. So now Sunaina is taking this title, youngest presenter, and she is a grade two student from Shishya Adyar, and she is going to present on the topic life of an astronaut inside ISS. Okay, before taking to her, like before starting her presentation, let me give one small intro about Sunaina. She joined Vaayusastra when she was five and a half, I think 5 to 6, and she four. Okay, four. So she's almost like spent almost 2 years or more than 2 years with Vaayusastra. When I asked Puvi and Vijay like what like they are trainers, so what she says, she always wanted to become astronaut, and she's into sports and dance. When they asked why you are learning sports and dance and everything, because the astronauts want to be very healthy and they have to be physically fit. That's why I'm learning all these things. Oh, I got okay. Then she one her mom sent me a video of Sunaina sitting inside cockpit interacting with the pilot, and all this thing I was like, wow. So this same thing I was read about when some scientist alive. When I was reading about Wright brothers, the same thing happened when they were 8 years old. When I was reading about Elon Musk, same thing happened. When about reading about Abdul Kalam, same thing. So the moment of spark can happen anytime. So now Sunaina is in level 5. She already know a lot of things, which is something equivalent to whatever I learned in first year and second year of BTech aeronautical engineering. So she knows how the parts of plane, how it flies, how to control it, how to design all the simple models. Last week, I think she designed with the help of our trainer, she built on one engine drone, which has a single engine and a propeller which can lift up with a tether to the bottom. So these things I get to make only when I was 20 or 22. See the yeah. So the knowledge can be transferred in a right way to children when it's taught in a right way. So I'm proud of you, Sunaina. Please start.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Sunaina, studying in class 2 in the Sishya School, Adyar. I thank Jagu and Vaayusastra for giving me this chance to make my first ever presentation today. I'm going to take you all through the life of an astronaut inside the International Space Station. This being my first ever presentation and me being the youngest here, I've tried my best with the help of my mom to make it as interesting as I can for you. Have you ever wondered what an astronaut does inside the ISS all day? Well, they do everything that we do on Earth, like working, eating, sleeping, exercising, etc. The only difference being that they do everything while floating around. Firstly, let us see how the astronauts are trained in order to be ready to go into space and live without gravity. They are taught how to use the equipment, how to cook, how to eat, how to sleep, and so on, along with being taught how to survive challenging situations and troubleshooting. They are trained in simulated environments in water that teach them how to float around in space. They live up to 3 weeks in an underwater laboratory or neutral buoyancy laboratory and also using virtual reality. They are trained in two basic yet highly specialized requirements, which is zero gravity plane, also called the vomit comet, and multi-axis trainer. This helps in overcoming motion sickness and to get them used to floating around all the time. To start with our training and get a feel of it, Let us watch a small clip of the multi-axis trainer and the vomit comet. This is the zero gravity plane or vomit comet. And this is the multi-axis trainer. The most important task is to maintain personal hygiene, always which holds good for the astronauts as well. Let us see how the astronauts do this while in space. They need to brush, bathe, wash, and obviously attend to nature's calls. An interesting fact is that the water they use is not going to spill or pour. We have Sunita Williams explaining that to us.
And so it sticks to your toothbrush, no problem. Another cool thing is that water sticks to your toothbrush too. If you can see it, I'll have some water come out. The water is pretty neat up in space. It'll stick to your toothbrush and it will make a big bubble. And that's just by surface tension. And then you can drink it. So a lot of people ask about what do you do with the toothpaste after you brush your teeth. Two options. Swallow it, and it's sort of like mouthwash, but it tastes a little gross. Or you can just spit it out in a paper towel, and then you don't have to worry about it. Swallowing thing I wouldn't recommend at home. I'm only up here for 4 months, so it's not that bad. One of the most pressing questions about living in space, of course, is the bathroom. So let's take a look at that little piece of work. Come on in. Here we are at the throne. This is awesome. You might see the little, you might have noticed the little moon on the outside. This is our orbital outhouse right here. And of course, it serves for two functions. Number 2, right here. I'll show you. But you see it's pretty small, so you have to have pretty good aim, and you be ready to make sure things get let go the right direction. And it smells a little bit, so I'm closing it up. And that's, of course, for number 2. And this guy right here is for number 1. So they're sort of two slightly separate functions, but you can do a little, essentially both, by hanging on right here and doing number 1 and number 2. I might add it's color coded, so you really don't get it mixed up, which is nice. This is yellows for number 1. And also there's a selection of paper. People always ask about toilet paper. What do you do with toilet paper? What kind of toilet paper do you have? We have gloves, just because sometimes it does get messy. We have some Russian wipes, which are a little bit coarse if you like the coarse type of toilet paper. We have some nice tissues, which are nice and soft if you like soft toilet paper. We have Huggies, just for any cleanup. You know, we were all babies once, and this sort of helps. And then if things get really out of control, we have disinfectant wipes, just to make sure we clean up here. Because, you know, just like the water I showed you, the number 1 stuff can sort of go all over the place if you don't aim correctly. And did I mention both of these have a little bit of suction, so they should keep things going in the right direction. But like I said, sometimes things get a little out of control if you are out of control yourself flying around. So we have lots of protective stuff. And of course, you do have your privacy. There's a little door. So other people know that you're in there. So,
let us see how astronauts keep themselves fit in space. Jessica Muse shows us how.
Studies have shown that exercise is vital not only to your physical health, but also to your mental well-being. You may need to get a little bit creative to get that heart rate elevated while at home without heading to the gym, but we're confident you can come up with something. Here's how we get the job done on the International Space Station. Just like exercise being so vital to your health on the Earth is even more important to us up here. So this is the ARED, Advanced Resistant Exercise Device. It is basically our one-stop weightlifting machine. The ARED uses 2 large vacuum tubes to generate the resistance for our weightlifting. In microgravity, we would have very significant losses in bone density and also muscle atrophy. But by exercising, we can counteract and prevent that.
This next exercise is cardiovascular exercises, T2, treadmill 2. Lunges and my harness are holding me against the treadmill.
It's pretty fun to run on T2. Get a little bit of an extra spring in your step. Another type of cardiovascular exercise that we have on the International Space Station is our stationary bicycle. It's called CBUS, but we don't have a seat and we don't have handlebars, since we don't need that in microgravity.
And this gives us probably our most cardiovascularly intense workout. I get a much greater heart rate doing this than I do running on the treadmill.
How do you think astronauts cook, eat, and drink in space? Their food is packed and sealed in dehydrated, vacuum-sealed food packaging, which have to be rehydrated before consumption. They also have a food warmer in the ISS. The food and drinks are carefully tested, tasted, and packed in extremely clean, specialized, and sanitized laboratories called space kitchens. The astronauts also have a lot of fun eating without gravity. The best part being that the food and drinks won't spill around anywhere. Let us see how exactly it's all done. We have Chris Hadfield and Mikhail Kornikov explaining that to us.
But today, we can have quite a variety of foods. And thanks to that process, a tortilla like this can be good. They're attached by a tether so they don't go floating off. Take the scissors, cut open the peanut butter pouch. Peanut butter's open, squeeze it onto the tortilla, carefully. Honey. Hey, I noticed something cool about the honey. Instead of the bubble sitting up at the top, because there's no gravity to make it float up, the bubble is floating in the middle. Up, and the envelope of peanut butter and honey is ready to eat. Not too bad. Last piece of my sandwich. It's been pretty delicious, but my hands are all sticky. Gotta clean up. We don't have a sink. We don't have running water. Gotta wash yourself up some other way. Disinfectant wipes.
This is Mikhail Kornikov showing us how to drink water. What do astronauts do when they are not working and to keep themselves occupied? They can do many things like reading and even play games. Here in these pictures, we can see them playing various instruments like guitar, flute, and even having birthday parties together. They also spend time watching the Earth to collect and document photographs of the view from space. In these pictures, we can see them playing Scrabble, chess, basketball, and tennis. Astronauts also conduct a variety of experiments in space on various subjects like human body, medicine, ecosystem, robotics, and so on that could be useful to man on Earth. They have tried growing vegetables and plants in space too. These are the experiments that have been carried out so far over the 20 years of ISS in space. Sleeping inside the ISS can be quite difficult. Astronauts use sleeping bags to sleep anywhere. There are also special cabins called sleep pods where they have to work alone or need some private space. The maintenance and housekeeping of the ISS is the responsibility of the astronauts too. They are trained in repair and to replace faulty parts of the ISS and also to handle unexpected situations. And the two types of maintenance are preventive and corrective. They also need to use vacuum cleaners, clean and disinfect every corner of the ISS. Anytime an astronaut gets out of a vehicle while in space, it's called a spacewalk. A spacewalk is also called an EVA, which stands for extravehicular activity. The first person to go on a spacewalk was Alexei Leonov from Russia on March 18, 1965. It was 10 minutes long. Spacewalks usually last from 5 to 8 hours depending on the job. Spacewalks enable the astronauts to work outside the station, helping them to repair the ISS and fix things. They also conduct science experiments outside the station. Spacewalk is a whole detailed topic by itself, which I will be presenting next time. Have you ever seen the ISS from Earth? It is a beautiful sight. All you need to do is download the NASA app and you will find all the details perfectly about the elevation, appearance, disappearance, along with the date and time whenever there is a possible sighting. It takes the ISS just 1.5 hours to complete an orbit around the Earth, thus completing 15.5 orbits per day. You can also track the ISS and get every information about space, astronauts, discoveries, and much more. Here is a video of the ISS that I personally spotted. I have so far seen the ISS many times from different locations. It looks like a fast-moving star in the sky. It's also the brightest. That white dot moving is the ISS. I hope you all had an amazing and memorable journey into space to live the life of an astronaut through my presentation. Thank you all for listening patiently. Do try spotting the ISS. It's a lot of fun. Thank you.
Well done, well done. So here the youngest, I'm just kind of emotional because there is one director sitting with me. He's telling, I have done all these things only in my after my 8th or 9th standard. I was telling I did only these things only in my college days. So well done, Sunaina. That's a great presentation. That's a detailed uh, study of how astronaut live inside ISS. And you personally told me a few times you spotted ISS with your dad's help. I think yesterday or today you told me, no, today or last week. I remember you telling me that. Hmm. Okay, Sunaina, what's your dream, Sunaina? What do you want to become in future?
An astronaut playing tennis inside and dancing and singing music inside the space station.
Wow. See, look at audience. Can you just hear what she said? So the Indian woman, Vyomnath in the making, she want to sing, dance, and do music in like in space. So I have seen one of the ISS scientists playing guitar and singing. Uh,
Did you also see the picture? Many people playing tennis with a ball racket.
okay. Yes. So Elon Musk, if you're watching this, kindly take the note this. Yeah, yeah. So she may build on something which is going to entertain people in space. That may be in moon, that may be in Mars. So people of NASA, if you get to watch this, so Sunaina is the one. So you may be looking for in future. So entertainment in space or fitness in space. We have a separate colonized space. Or there are few CEOs here. Rakshan Sai, Bhairavi. So we have a person who has vision for all this. So, mm, so you want to share anything, something for the audience, Sunaina? So who is your favorite astronaut or who inspired you so much?
Sunita Williams.
Sunita Williams. So Indian. So I'm going to definitely share it to some of the ISRO scientists close to me. So Indian Sunita Williams. So the ISRO Sunita Williams in the making. So any feedbacks? So please share it in the chat box. If you want me to unmute, I can unmute. Okay. So I'm going to unmute. So one by one, you can share your feedbacks.
Amazing presentation, Sunaina.
Amazing,
It's
Sunaina.
amazing.
Amazing.
Awesome presentation, Sunaina.
Amazing.
Very
Awesome
nice.
Super presentation.
Very interactive. Very nice.
Thank you.
Super presentation, Sunaina. Thank
you.
Amazing presentation.
Extraordinary.
So we have already come 3 CEOs here, 5 plus CTOs here, some 10
It was
plus.
very useful, Sunaina. It's amazing, Sunaina.
Okay, shall we all unmute and shall we give a huge round of applause for our Sunaina? Thank you so much.
Very interesting topic.
Video as well for you. Because yeah, you are something special. Yeah, someone special because see, she joined here with us like 4.5 years, and yeah. Thank you so much. So well done. So
Thank you, Jagu.